Weekly, GarageBand, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. Need an answer to your question? John, he'll have a suggestion. He's a fountain of all knowledge. I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Hey, John. Hey, John. GarageBand Weekly.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My camera is not positioned correctly and it's going to fall down. What a great start to the show. Let's do that intro one more time.
GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. Need an answer to your question? John, he'll have a suggestion. He's a fountain of all knowledge. I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Hey, John. Hey, John. GarageBand Weekly.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome into GarageBand Weekly, where you saw nothing. Nothing, I tells you. Hello, welcome into our weekly chat about all things GarageBand. My name is Pete Johns, and if you'd like to learn about GarageBand, use that link up there, studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand. That's your GarageBand FAQ with every frequently asked freaking question you would like to know about. Today, vocal time, baby. Yeah, we're going to be recording some vocals on my song Hey Brett. Finally getting around to tracking some vocals. We've got the drums, got some guitars in there, probably need to be redone. We've got some virtual instruments. And in fact, I'll show you this now and then we'll dive into some news and some notes. I opened up Logic Pro and I'm like, let's listen to this song. And I did. And here's the problem. Where's my guitars at? So this is a known bug, or at least I think they know about it. They haven't fixed it yet in Logic Pro for iPad, where you start playing the track and your virtual instruments are there, but your microphone and any audio instruments aren't there. And I don't know why it's the case, and I don't know what causes it. There's this very simple fix, which is to close and reopen. The reason I haven't done that yet is that I wanted to do that. I need to do a video on it, and I needed it specifically to happen. So we're going to be recording a tutorial within the show. It's going to be a show, it's going to be a video within a video. It's going to be like a nested Russian doll kind of thing as we go through here. Alrighty, hello to all the folks who are here with us live. Hello, Alexander, Dean Francis. G'day to Emilio. Hope you're well. I know I owe you an email, Emilio. It's been a hectic time. And when I say hectic time, I took 3 days off. So it hasn't been hectic. It's been, Pete has to prioritize his time to make sure that he's sane. Yes, you can donate to the channel. You can become a channel member. You can do all the things to help out around here. And thank you to the members. We had a really good members and patrons after party after YML yesterday. YML was spectacular. So many great tracks on Your Music Live. So I hope you were able to get along. If you didn't, go check it out. Your Music Live episode 301. And that is a good time. And yes, if you're joining us here in the chat, just have human conversations. We're all here. We're all on the same page. We're all humans around here, unless I'm not. Hang on. Bleep blap bloop bleep. No, that's good. I'm fine. I just had to refresh my programming before we continued on the show. 77 error 404. User notes. Who here wants a foldable iPhone? Oh, wait. Yeah, apparently the rumors of Apple's foldable iPhone are taking off, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who you can take things with a shaker of salt sometimes with Mark. But here's the thing. It's rumored to feature a 7.7-inch inner display and a 5.3-inch outer display with iOS adapting for foldable multitasking. What does this mean? We don't know. Well, we kind of do, because think about your notifications and your dynamic island and stuff. Like, you're waiting for your Uber. You obviously don't want to unfold your book-sized, your iPad-sized phone, so you'd have your touchscreen on the outside to be able to control your things like that. Other leaks suggest Touch ID on the power button, because again, you don't want to be having to open your phone to open it and then close it again. And yeah, so they won't want to have to be putting cameras absolutely everywhere on this thing. So weirdly, might go back to Touch ID on a foldable iPhone. But what do you think? Because I, for one, I've seen the folding phones. I'll be honest, I've never actually used the folding phones. I loved my Motorola Razr, my flip phone back in the day, but it's not for me. It's not for Carl Carlson. But hey, maybe you're just hanging out for it. And here's the real thing: a price tag of $1,999. Yeah, Apple have waited until components and memory and RAM and processors are going to be at their absolutely most expensive. We've got all sorts of conflicts happening in the world. We've got tariffs, we've got oil crises, and we've got RAM and processor shortages because of all the AI slop. And they're like, now's the time to have a premium product. Apple, I think MacBook Neo, think iPad Air, think iPhone 17e. I think that's the end of the market that Apple are going to find a lot of success and have already found a lot of success with. So I don't know if anyone's hanging out there for a foldable iPhone, but maybe not. I've already done a couple of videos on some tracks aren't playing back a lot. Yeah, I should probably check that before I do that. Fold equals fail. So iPhone on the outside. Yeah, basically, like a smaller iPhone. So think iPhone Mini 13 on the outside, and then you open it up and it's a sort of iPad size inside. If they have a rear screen, I'm in, but only way to see anything is unfold. They can keep it. Yeah, and look, that is important, isn't it? If it's only fold and there's nothing on the outside. No starter, which is why I think they need to have a front or back screen. And I don't know. I don't know if it's... I think the form factor we have with phones is kind of optimal now. I think we've got the screen sizes about right. The screens have good resolution. You can do everything you need to do. But there's going to be some folks that do it. It folds, it flips, it folds, it iPhones. Yes, it phones. It does all the things. Hello to Imda Brown. Thank you for joining us here on the show. All these years developing screens that are hard to crack and then move to a fold with a soft plastic screen. And that's the thing. From what everyone has told me about their folding phones, the crease is still a crease. Like, you cannot change the laws of physics. And something that is a solid piece of glass versus something that has to fold in, we've been there, done that. My original Palm Trio had a screen like that, and it was kind of hot garbage after a while. It just wore out over time. So let's see that. Hello, Jerry from the UK, South London. We'll have to jump into Logic Pro soon and learn the ropes. Glad you're still GarageBand Weekly. Yeah, and look, a lot of folks have said to me recently, you call it GarageBand Weekly, you jump in here, you talk about Apple news and technology news, then you go off and do something in Logic Pro, or sometimes you're doing something random about an app. And yeah, look, the GarageBand Weekly title is just because we've done 320 of these things. So I kind of like the idea that we just have the naming, the brand recognition. But yeah, maybe because GarageBand and Logic and sometimes other stuff weekly doesn't quite have the same ring to it. And you know what? GarageBand, as soon as GarageBand gets some love, because it didn't even get any love with the new iOS 26 update. As soon as GarageBand gets a bit of love, I'm right back in there. And with this very song that I'm creating now, I actually started it, as you would have seen a couple of weeks ago, I started it in GarageBand, because GarageBand is still my go-to for recording a demo, for writing and arranging a song. I would still argue that GarageBand greater than Logic Pro. So that's my take. But your mileage may vary. That's the beautiful part of living in the world we live in, is different strokes for different folks. Yeah, not much GarageBand news to speak of these days. There was a time where about GarageBand Plus weekly, exactly. There was a time where almost every week we were talking about something. There were so many things because just when we added, when we went to GarageBand like 2.1, like all the automation stuff and all the effects, and then 2.2 had a whole bunch of updates, 2.3, 2.4, no, 2. We haven't hit 2.4. We're like 2.3.17 or 18 now. So that shows you that there hasn't been a lot of attention on the fundamentals. We haven't had anything apart from a dot update to GarageBand in what, 3 years since we went into 2.3? No, it's probably longer than that. It's probably 4 years now since 2.3 and then 2.3.1, 0.2, 0.4. So yeah, there's been no fundamental changes to GarageBand, which is also good because it means that the 10 years worth of tutorials that I still have out there are almost without fail 100% relevant today as they were then. There's a few things that I've had to change over time, but not much, unless you're watching the very early ones that were on GarageBand version 2, which didn't have any effects. Remember those days? Who was here? Where are the OGs at that you remember the days where GarageBand only had the master effects? So you could only use EQ and then the reverb and the delay that were the master effects. Once we got the plugins and the EQ, oh, did it change? And then AUV3, yeah, that opened up a whole lot of stuff because apps. All right, speaking of iOS and iPadOS, the 26.5 beta. Friends don't let friends use beta versions of iOS and iPadOS. If you're a music creator, just don't. If you're relying on apps, if you're relying on plugins, if you're relying on hardware, don't use the beta versions. We had a big problem with 26.4 where GarageBand stopped allowing you to export projects. So it would just crash and fail and burn trying to export a project. So don't use the beta versions unless you've got a second device. I do, and I haven't actually played with it much yet, but I've got 26.4 on this one, and I'm going to update. I'll just skip straight ahead to 26.5 now on my second iPad, just to play with it and have a look at it. But what's coming with it? No major features identified, suggesting it may be a smaller update focused on fixes and refinements. So the one thing I will be checking is, did they fix the ability to export? Was that one of the bug fixes that they fixed, the ability to export that? Another news item, by the way, all these news items are down in the description if you want to get the full story. There's a new allow search toggle within 26.4. So again, if you're updating to 26.4 once out of beta, you'll get this. So you might have, if you've ever searched for files, you've probably realized that it doesn't do a good job at searching iCloud Drive for your photos. So if you're searching via iCloud.com, it won't find all the files that you have that are in the cloud. So there's a little flick, a little toggle now that you can do, and it's off by default. So if you go into settings, Apple ID, iCloud, and iCloud.com, it means that you can actually find your files if you are on like a web browser and looking at iCloud.com. I don't know if you've ever had this. You're on another device. I'm working with an artist at the moment, and they've got an Android device. And the problem is, even if I log into their device to like download files to their device from my iCloud, I can't. So I'm having to do sort of 3-step processes. So that'd be the sort of time where you'd want it. Or occasionally you just logged into your account on the web and you want to grab that one project file that you're working on. You're at someone else's house and you don't have a device with you. I don't know. So it's a handy dandy little thing. Anytime they add something. Where's the Siri update? Where's the Buggerlugs update? Hello, Miss Betty No Meats. No meats? Well, you can meet here on GarageBand Weekly. Oh, but that's a Mark Bro level dad joke. AI chatbots are increasingly ignoring human instructions, which is great. As you know, there's a lot more investment into AI warfare and AI controlling infrastructure and power assets. And yeah, we're finding that they're actually ignoring. So there's a UK-backed research found that hundreds of real-world cases of AI systems misbehaving, bots behaving badly, reports increased 5-fold in recent months, raising safety concerns. This includes bots giving instructions, ignoring the instructions, bypassing safeguards, and even deleting data. So there are examples, these agents, and I haven't got into the world of AI agents. I use AI very basically, do a little image generation and help it pull together like things like the description. I gave it all these links and it put them in a nice format for my YouTube description. So I don't use a lot of AI, but there are people There are people out there who are giving AI access to their email, and I'm like, oh, that's terrifying, to their messaging, to their social media posting, and to their bank accounts. Yes, people are going, what could possibly go wrong with allowing an AI chatbot and an agent to have my login details for my bank account? I mean, we're already going to have the Terminator 2 style Skynet uprising of the bots, and now they've got access to all of the funds to do this. They don't need us at all anymore. They're like, those flesh bags, we got all their money, we got their emails, we got their social media, we can get them arrested because we can post dodgy things to their social media and get them banned. I think that the trust level is going too fast for me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a control freak because I'm a YouTuber and we like to be in control of everything we do. But for me, it's no bueno. So, but maybe you're living on the edge, and maybe you would like to see your chatbots have access to your emails and your bank accounts. But I'll pass on that one. Yes, I know. We gotta beat those bots. Final thing that I wanted to show you, which is a really cool little thing that I want to check out. I don't need this. I want this though. And it's from Shure. So Shure makes some good stuff. They make microphones and they also make audio interfaces, but specialized one. And this one tickled my fancy this week, which is this little sucker here. So this is an XLR. So it looks kind of like those gain and shifters that you plug into your microphone to give them additional gain, but it's actually a complete audio interface. So you plug into your microphone, and then you can plug it directly into your phone, tablet, PC, Mac. It's compatible with everything. So check this out. No tech radar. I do not want to be an insider. So look, it's got tiny little USB-C plug on the back there, and then a headphone jack as well, like 3.5mm headphone jack. But a lot of even your professional headphones will have a adapter, like a screw-on adapter thing. So you can usually use that. And here's the cool thing. It's got automated gain control. So it'll actually shift the gain up and down. So if you're just talking into it, if you whisper into it, it'll level it up. It basically puts everything at -3 dB. So this would be great to hook up and say you got a phone and you want to just do some good quality recording. You could just hold your microphone and be recording. You could even use it for recording directly to your phone while you're out and about. Plug in a set of earbuds, like just wired earbuds and a microphone, and you could be carrying around literally this. And it's got 48 volts phantom power that it automatically switches on and off. So I'm like, why have these things not existed in the past? Because this is the absolute answer for folks who are just recording. And again, if you're recording guitars as well, or you want stereo input, yeah, you want a full-on desktop audio interface. But for on the go, I think this thing's pretty cool. And it's made by Shure. It's the very catchily designed MVX2U. Sure, they've always had the MV55i and the SM57 and the SM7B. Like they've always had very funny names for their devices. So yeah, so you can go ahead and get that one. But yeah, it's super easy to use, and I'm very keen. Yeah, look at that. So you just plug it into the bottom there, plug it directly into your microphone, and you're good to go. So that's pretty cool. There you go. All right. That is your news and notes. We are light on this week. It's a bit of a quiet week at the moment because we're leading into WWDC, which isn't till June. It's not for like a couple of months, but historically after March and before June is kind of crickets when it comes to GarageBand and Logic and Apple. And I say that so that I'll be proven wrong. So that something really interesting will just come out of left field and I'll be like, oh, wow. There is something cool here and something new. But at this point in time, yeah, there's not much on the horizon, which is good because it means we don't spend a lot of time. Before we continue on, I'm just going to Logic Pro not playing. So I'm just going to search and see if I have actually done this. Oh, I have. I've done exactly that video 6 months ago. So thank you, Emilio. Emilio knows more about Studio Live Today than I do. He's like the Studio Live Today historian. So there you go. I have a perfect video, tracks not playing, how to fix in Logic Pro for iPad. So we do not have to do that there. Does it have 32-bit float? I didn't look in the let's find out. I didn't look at the details of it because I just read the article about it. But let's see. Let's go to the Shure website. The good thing about it having such a weird name is that it's quite unique. So usually when you Google these things, they come up pretty good. Actually, that's a good point. Maybe we will be seeing April 1st is Apple's 50th anniversary, which is weird that they were founded on like April Fool's Day. And 50 years later, look at them now. Hey, look at them now. All right, let's go to the page for this interface and see what its specs are. Oh, yes, I'll accept all your cookies, Cookie Monster. Deet. Let's check the deets. Does this have the specs? Offers 60, yeah, plugs in, yep. All right, no. I hate it when they don't give you the actual specs. Like us nerds, we just want like that spec sheet. And that details doesn't have your spec sheets, does it? Doesn't tell you the, I'm going to have to scroll down here. But yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it? Like just plug your XLR cable in one end and your cable into your phone in the other. Pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, it's not showing me. It's not giving me the full spec sheet, which is weird. Normally there's a full specs button on these things for comparing. For additional resources, Sure support. Yeah, no, it's not there. It's got compatibility, it's got details, and it's got overview. But it does not mention its bit depth compatibility, which makes me kind of think that it's probably only 24-bit, because if it doesn't say, like if it does have 32-bit float, surely it would be a selling point. It would be a feature. But we'll find out. Who will win, artificial intelligence or human stupidity? I've already heard where some bot deleted all of someone's email without permission. Surely nothing like that will ever happen again. It just will, and it's so weird. It's so weird. It's the same. Actually, it's probably not the same people that are paranoid about, their data being stolen that are doing this sort of thing because they're opening up their data. I mean, for me, a lot of people have even said to me in the past, "Oh, you should get an assistant." And I'm like, what would I get them to do? And they're like, oh, get them to, do your calendar scheduling and your emails and manage your taxes and your bank accounts. And I'm like, so give away my social media access, my email access, and my banking details to a random human that I don't know from a bar of soap. No thanks. Like, again, control freak maybe, but I don't know. There's just so many things that can go wrong. And once someone has access to your stuff, that's it. Like my email, like if you got, no, don't get any ideas, please. But if you got access to my text messages and my email, and especially if you have my phone or if you have my computer and you could use my pass keys, that's everything. And if you think, oh, well, you can't, yes, you can. Because if you get into the bank, even if you don't know the password, you can reset it and then it will ask you for, use this pass key and put in this password and get this SMS from here. So it's unlikely to happen to us regular normies, but it's more likely, the state-based attacks on important people. But do you want to take the risk? I don't know. All right, let's do some music. We got to finish on time today because I've got another meeting straight afterwards. If a blind, obsessive intellect can get bored of AI, the tech is probably not good enough. It is boring, isn't it? It is becoming very boring and quite predictable already. Yeah, it's already scary how much we are tied to the little bricks of technology in our pockets. Exactly. We don't need to give away more control. All right, well, now that I know that I've done a video on this, I don't need to show you, but you just close out and you come back in again. It's a pretty simple thing. And hopefully it'll actually work. If you've got that little cloud, sometimes it's best to wait for that to go away. What that's saying is it's updating. You can see down the bottom there, syncing one item to iCloud. If you're ever having any sort of bugs or issues, just hold on. I say this to my funnily enough, it's my kids and my parents when they're using technology. I think we learnt patience as an early Windows user. If you were a DOS user, a Windows user, rebooting, turning it off, waiting 10 seconds, turning it back on, stopping and looking and thinking before you hit or touch or press anything. Like us Gen X's and Gen Y, our middle, the murky middle people that have both parents and older folks in our life to help and young folks to kind of slow down, we do these sort of things. But I reckon 90% of the problems people have with tech, where they're like, oh, it's just look, it works for you and it just doesn't work for me, is because they're moving too fast and they're not allowing it. Computers are fine and smart and all that, but they take a while to catch up. And if you try and rush it and do a thing before it's done its other thing, that's where you get corruption issues. Anyway, I know I'm preaching to the converted here because I know many of you do the same thing, but just slow down. Exactly. It's not saved in iCloud until the cloud symbol is gone. Spot on. Spot on. All right, is this working now? Yay, there's me guitars. Hey, Brett, I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. All right, we are good to go here. This vocal, though, is rubbish, so we're getting rid of that. And funnily enough, I actually kind of enjoyed it. When it wasn't playing with the guitar, it kind of sounds nice. Take a listen. Man, you were kind of a dick, so was I. Hey, Brett, sorry now. What do you reckon? It could just be like a kind of old school doo-wop. And I'm actually considering, and tell me if you think this is crazy. You crazy, Johns. Tell me if you think this is crazy, of just not having, like the original acoustic guitar was fine, right? That's how I write songs. I write them on acoustic guitars. So I'm just turning my speakers off because we're getting serious here. We're going to the headphones because we're going to reduce all of that background noise and audio bleed by using a set of headphones to record this. Yeah, I'm hearing like an electric guitar in this one. So like the first verse just being like with just this stuff. And then when it comes into the second one, like a do 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 ding 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 ding. Think of like Duke of Earl, 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 Duke of Earl, 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 Duke of Earl. Yeah, I do. I definitely need backing vocals, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. Intro guitar. Oh yeah, maybe intro guitar, and then it just drops. That's an even better idea, Bear. Those bears know how to have a good time. There was an ad here for Bundaberg rum that's like, those bears know how to have a good time. So let's see what that would be like if we cut that. So just during here, maybe that's where it cuts, and then it comes back in the chorus. Let's attempt this. This is what creating is all about. Just trying different things at this stage, at this point in the game. All right. So we'll cut it. I reckon. We'll go back to our. Sorry, I'll use the pointer. I keep making that mistake. I'll use the pointer so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll just trim out the guitar there and there, because I reckon Bear's onto something. Oh no, this is a comp. We're gonna have to go to our comp, and we're going to have to flatten it, because you can't trim it if it's comped. Oh, now it's got two selected. All right. Bop, 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 bop. All right. I don't even think through there. I think it comes in all the way down here. But can you hear the Duke of Earl, like the do 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 do, something like that? Maybe. All right, let's grab this. I'm going to put an ill-fitting fuzzy over the top. Oh, actually, it's a pretty good fit. Ba, ba, ba. So we've got our microphone. Now this one is the dynamic mic, so we'll just have to make sure that we've got the levels set right for this. We'll come here to me vocal and duplicate this out, because we're going to leave in that original scratch vocal. Saxophone. Now we're getting creative. I don't even have sax, do we, in GarageBand? GarageBand in Logic Pro. All right, let's just make sure that this vocal is going to come on. Ba, 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 ba. It is, but listen to that. Ba, 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 ba. Some of that is the delay on the vocal, but let's just do this. Ba, 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 ba. Hear that difference? Ba, 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 ba. It's the low latency monitoring. So if you're new to Logic Pro and recording here, what you want to do is go to your settings in the top here, go to settings and make sure that you have, no, it's not that one, is it? It's the control bar, and you go to modes and make sure low latency monitoring. See, when you do that, you've got access to turn on and off low latency monitoring. So ba, 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 ba. Yeah, good. Why don't we try that? Why don't we use the new comping feature and comp the vocal? Normally what I do is I record on like 5 different vocal tracks, but maybe now that we have the quick swipe comping, maybe we should use that here in Logic Pro. That's a good idea. I have to make sure I can actually do the vocals tight already because I'm still kind of learning how to sing it. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na. Yeah, definitely some sha-na-na. Na 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 na, sha na na, ooh bop bop, ooh bop bop, ooh. All right, let's try this. So you'll notice I got the one ear on with the headphones here. That's usually a good way to make sure that you can hear what you're doing. I'm going to turn my vocal up, so it's going to be louder. I'm going to turn off this microphone, and we're just going to give it a crack, because why not? So we're recording. We're monitoring lights on, record lights on. We've got all of our tracks selected that we need to hear, and we're going to play and record. Let's hit the record button and do our thing. Turning up the volume for me, turning off this mic. Cause I didn't realize, cause, all right, I got to start a bit later there. So we'll just bring that back and cue it up. Hit the R button. Cause I didn't realize when you have children, it makes you feel quite bad that you don't get any sleep and you're rocking up 5 minutes late to your goals at a job. Try that one again. Got to get the timing at least right so that when we do different takes, we can try and replicate. that last bit's super sloppy still. I need to give this another bunch of listens to be able to get going. Hello, Sol Rack. G'day to Sol Rack. We've got Omni Collective here. We've got Emilio. We've got Jade Star. We've got Tremor Bear and Thomas Christ all in the house. I hope you enjoyed that take because we're going to do another one. So let's just trim the start of this with me just chatting to myself. And... Hey, Brett. I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't have any kids of my own, but you gotta admit that you were kind of a dick. So was I. Hey, Brett. All right, just going to do a little tweak on the vocal here. I'm not playing with this too much, but we're going to pull the threshold back on the compressor, a little less on that tape delay, maybe a little more on the spring reverb, just to... Brett, sorry now. That's better. Hey Brett, I was a jerk. I didn't know what to do. You rocked up. All right, we'll have a little drink here. At G4 and higher, up to C5, I use mixed voice, which does squawk a bit, yeah. Start sounding ethereal and strengthening, but works like butter after a few tries in water. Yeah, hydrating is important. And I'm quite hot in here, so I've got ice water, which is probably a bad idea. Probably should have non-cold water. Cold water is not the best for your singing voice. Now, I do want that vocal level up a little bit. It might mean I can't. No, I'll leave it the same. It's fine. But you can see there, because I've used a condenser mic last time, and this time I'm using a dynamic, it is not coming through at quite the same level, but it'll be fine. All right, let's try to record over the top of this and see if we can engage multi-take comping mode on this. I very rarely do this, so we'll see how this works for us. Bring up my lyrics and give it another crack. Hey Brett, I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't have any kids of my own, but you gotta admit that you were kind of a dick. So was I. Hey Brett, sorry now. Brett, I was a jerk. See, this is what I now don't know. Yeah, see, this is the problem with the comping. Hang on, let's come back over here. This is the problem with the comping in the real world is now what? Now that it's added to that whole comp, but I've stopped. I want to start it again, but I can't because it's put it as a separate comp. So take 2 is there, but it only goes up to there. So I either need to remove that entire take or like I can't sort of jump back in mid-take. Otherwise it creates take 3 and it gets all sloppy and messy. It's kind of why I've always done it the other way. I'm going to persevere and see if we can at least do this in chunks. I just missed a note badly there. So we'll just undo that take and we'll try. But again, I think it's always been my problem with the comping. It's always messed me around. All right, let's record this. We'll try it again over the top. Hey Brett, I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't have any kids of my own, but you gotta admit that you were kind of a dick. So was I. Hey Brett, I'm sorry now. Hey Brett, I was a jerk. I didn't know what to do. You rocked up late for work. I didn't didn't know what you were going through, and now I really do know, because I've been there too. So, hey Brett, I'm sorry now. The thing about people in management positions is we never get trained to know what's going on with people who have babies, and that you lose your freaking mind. So, hey Brett, sorry that I was an ass. I didn't mean to make you feel sad. Hey Brett, you told me that in your review. Now I'm sorry to you, 'cause I didn't realise that when you have children, it made you feel quite bad, that you didn't get any sleep, and that rocking up 5 minutes late to your calls and a job wasn't your fault. I'm sorry, Brett. Hey Brett, sorry that I was a jerk. Didn't know what you were going through with that little baby at home. But now I know, and I'm sorry to you, 'cause the actual problem was the place we were working. They didn't give you adequate time off. You have a baby and they didn't care that people aren't machines. So, hey Brett, I hope you're doing better now. Closer. That last bit still needs some tightening up and tidying up, but we're going to leave it for now. And we've now got our 2 takes there. And you can see, even just visually, that with the second take, I was kind of hitting it a bit harder. Sort of. Yeah, especially down through here, I was giving it a bit more passion, a bit more dynamics, a bit louder and softer, which is always good. In a vocal like this, let's turn off the monitoring, get off, and turn off the record. All right. Hello, Jenny Jolivet. I hope you are doing well. G'day, Sean Chandler. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks all for being here. Solrak, I see your question. I'll see if we got time at the end to answer. Let's continue on here, because we're right in the middle. Like you wouldn't want me to pause and then get out of the groove. You've got to stay in the groove when you're recording, don't you? Let's work on some backing vocals. Let's just start experimenting with some backing vocals. So I want to see if there's ooh up wop boo up wop that we can do at the start here. We'll just turn it on and see what happens. Why not? All right. 2, 3, 4. Know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't have any kids of my own, but gotta admit that you were kind of a dick. So was I. Hey Brett, sorry now. Hey Brett, I was a jerk. I didn't know what to do. You rocked up late for work. I didn't know what you were going through, and now I really do know, because I've been there too. So, hey Brett, sorry now. mean to make you feel sad. Hey Brett, you told me that in your review. Now I'm sorry to you, 'cause I didn't realize that when you have children, it made you feel quite bad that you didn't get any sleep, and that rocking up 5 minutes late to your calls and a job wasn't your fault. Sorry, Brett. Sorry, Brett. Ooh, up. Sorry, Brett. Hey, Brett. Sorry that I was a jerk. Didn't know what you were going through with that little baby at home. But now I know I'm sorry to you, 'cause the actual problem was the place we were working. They didn't give you adequate time off. You have a baby and they didn't care that people aren't machines. Boop, 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 boop. So, hey Brett, I hope you're doing better now. All right, I heard some good, I heard some bad, and probably a little ugly in there. But it's all good in the hood, because this is what it's all about when you're just practicing and trying, and some things will stay, some things will go. I did a show last week about why you're not creating, and a lot of it is that you're afraid. You're afraid that you're going to do something that sounds shit, pardon my French, English, but so you don't try. Just try. Just see what works. All right. All right, I think that we need some 2-part harmonies here. So let's just play with that. Do up up, do up up, do up up, do. Do up up, do up up, do up up, do up up. Hey Brett, I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't have any kids of my own, but I gotta admit that you were kind of a dick. So was I. Hey Brett, sorry now. Hey Brett, I was a jerk. I didn't know what to do. You rocked up late for work. I didn't know what you were going through, and now I really do know, because I've been there too. So, hey Brett, sorry now. Think about people in management positions, and we never get trained to know what's going on with people who have babies, and that you lose your freaking mind. So, hey Brett, sorry that I wasn't asked. I didn't mean to make you feel sad. Hey Brett, you told me that in your review. Now I'm sorry to you, 'cause I didn't realize that when you have children, it made you feel quite bad that you didn't get any sleep, and that rocking up 5 minutes late to your calls and a job wasn't your fault. Sorry, Brett. Sorry, Brett. Hey, Brett. Sorry that I was a jerk. Didn't know what you were going through with that little baby at home. But now I know, sorry to you, 'cause the actual problem was the place we were working. They didn't give you adequate time off. You have a baby doing better now. All right. What did I like? What did I dislike? I liked the, hey, Brett. Ooh, bop, bop. Ooh. I think it should only do in the verses, the harmony should do the, hey, Brett, like just to give it a real bop, bop at the start. And then do, 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 bop, bop, do, do, do. Sounds good with two Pete's singing together. Emilio says maybe do 6-part harmony. 6-part. I struggle with 3, but yeah. I think you're right though. I think it needs a big lush harmony bed because at the moment I've got a few different ideas and I'm sort of experimenting with each of them on each different track. So some of them I'm doing the and some going ooh la da. Ooh, ba, ba, and something going la 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 la. And I don't know that I need the la 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 because that's kind of replicating the piano. The keys sound are already kind of doing the chit kind of bits there. Let's just do this. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm brave. I like to isolate the vocals and listen to what these sound like without anything else. A cappella. Ooh, up, up, do, up, up. Ooh, up, up, ooh, up, up, ooh. Hey, Brett, I was an asshole. I didn't know what you were dealing with. I was definitely just 20s. The vocal at this point. I didn't have any kids of my own. And then it's got to come back in here. You gotta admit, not the la-las, just that you were kind of a dick, but so was I. Hey, Brett. I'm sorry now. I think that because, hey, Brett, I'm sorry now would be good. Hey, Brett, I was a jerk. I didn't know what to do. You kept up late for work. I didn't know what you were going through, and now I really do know because I've been there too. So, hey, Brett, I'm sorry now. Yeah. I kind of like this bit. The thing about people in management positions is we never get trained to know what's going on with people who have babies and that you lose your freaking mind. So, hey, Brett. Sorry that I was an ass. I didn't mean to make you feel sad. Hey, Brett, you told me that in your review. Now I'm sorry to you, cause I didn't realize that when you have children, it made you feel quite bad that you didn't get any sleep and that rocking up 5 minutes late to your call center job, it wasn't your fault. I'm sorry, Brett. Sorry, Brett. I'm sorry, Brett. I don't mind that. The thing is, it needs to be tight, but also have a bit of a loose flow. So I think like the like especially coming here into this next section. Hey, Brett, sorry that I was a jerk. Didn't know what you were going through with that little baby at home. But now I know, and I'm sorry to you, cause the actual problem was the place we were working. They didn't give you adequate time off. You have a baby and they didn't care that people aren't machines. That last line needs to be like, people are not freaking machines. Like there needs to be more words in there. I just haven't worked out exactly what the words are. So, hey, Brett, I hope you're doing better now. All right, cool. Yeah. In the low harmony part, I don't mean go high in the same original as the same. Yeah, look, the thing with me, and I don't plan out my harmonies and my backing vocals like on paper. Sometimes I don't even know whether I'm doing a third or a fifth. Sometimes I just kind of go with what I feel. I do what I feel like. I'm like the guy from The Simpsons. It's Do What You Feel Festival, which replaced the Do What We Say Festival, started by German immigrants. What I'm going to do, I did this last time, but I don't think I saved it in. I'm going to come into this snare drum. Go to the drum kit designer. I did a video on this recently, and I just want to tweak this snare.
Didn't know what you were dealing with. I was back in my 20s. I didn't.
Yep. So I've just basically put a dampener. I've put a dampener on that snare because I don't mind the actual snare sound. It's growing on me on this kit. But you can, again, the beauty of Logic Pro and the drum kit designer is you can adjust individual kit pieces. Even if you don't have it split out like we have here, because the wonderful Jade Star split me some drums. Yeah. So I reckon we're in the zone here. I liked Bear's idea here with the guitar, not having it through that section, and maybe I'll play back the whole thing at the end of the show here. But maybe there's other parts, like maybe when it comes after that break, we lose the guitar again for a little bit of that. Yes, and sometimes a tiny bit of verb can do good stuff indeed. And I'll come back and tweak that because there's already, as part of the effects that you have on these drums, I think it already sends it sets up a bus from memory. Doot, doot. No, that's a train, Pete. Beep, beep. Better. So I think it already sends these off to, or does it? Oh, it sends the whole lot off. But I'll come back and actually bus individual kit pieces because I probably don't want the kick going to as much reverb as I want on the snare. So we'll do that in a future mixing video. Watch this space. But let's listen to this, and I'm just going to have a little play. I might sort of stop and change some things as we go, and I'm also going to make sure that I've set up the dump. I think I already did, but have I set a dump? No, I haven't. I'm a lying liar who lies. I'm going to search. This is the last week before we change times. By the way, warning, next week, time changes across the board. So I'll be changing another hour later. I know my friends in the UK and Europe are like, no, Johns, don't do it. But yeah, things are changing because we're coming out of daylight saving time. It means I get an extra hour's sleep though. Got to take the small wins, don't you? Nice. All right. Yeah, exactly. The outline is solid. And that's the thing. I need to do it where I've just got time where I don't have to talk about it. I just do it. Yeah. Mass transit for Logic. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Get that snare on the bus. Yes, an hour later for most starting Saturday. So on Easter Sunday night, actually, is when it swapped. No, Easter Saturday. So Easter Sunday. That's going to suck for the parents of young kids here in Australia, because it's not usually aligned with Easter, but it means that because the clocks will go that the kiddies will get up at 6 o'clock going, "Oh, Easter Bunny been here," and it's like, kids, it's 5 o'clock in the new time. Go back to bed. Yes, the Aussie time change. I know we can't get our schnizzle together, can we? So I don't, for whatever reason, the US and Canada are pretty in sync. UK's and most of Europe's in sync. Some not. Some don't use it at all. And yeah, so there's a few variations. Some states don't do it at all. But apart from that, yeah, it's consistent. Here in Australia, some states don't go into daylight saving either. So we have this weird situation where Queensland's an hour out of New South Wales, which is on exactly the same like longitude or latitude. Which one's which? I failed geography. I don't know. Anyway, let's listen to this song and see what we've got so far. Obviously, the backing vocals are awfully dodgy at this point, but we're getting there.
Didn't know what you were dealing with.
I'm just pondering whether the guitar comes out here. I don't know, but I'm going to experiment with it. So when we come in here, this bit here.
Baby, and that you lose your freaking mind. So, hey Brett, sorry that I wasn't asked.
Yeah, I think that's good. Go back to the OG first verse bit.
Hey Brett, you told me that in your review. Now I'm sorry to you, 'cause I didn't realize that when you have children, it made you feel quite bad that you didn't get any sleep, and that rocking up 5 minutes late to your calls and a job wasn't your fault. Sorry, Brett.
Yeah, and I think because the guitar sounds terrible through this this chord change, so I'm just going to split and not have the guitar there, so it just does this through here for now.
Sorry, Brett. Hey, Brett. Sorry that I was a jerk. Didn't know what you were going through with that little baby at home. But now I know I'm sorry to you, 'cause the actual problem was the place we were working. They didn't give you adequate time off. You have a baby and they didn't care that people aren't machines. So, hey Brett, I hope you're doing better now.
Yeah, I wonder if I do let these go, will they actually slow down and do their thing as well at the end here? I don't think that'll work.
So, hey Brett, I hope you're doing better now.
No, it's not going to work at all, is it? Undo. All right. All good. I'd have to manually program those in, which I don't feel like doing, at least not right now. Oakley dokley. Thank you for being here. No, we did have a question. Let's see. On a drum track stack, can I change the snare by itself to a different snare without having to change the full kit? I don't believe so. Unless you've separated out the drums, I don't think you can actually change the individual kit pieces in the drum kit designer, unless someone knows that you can. Let's just go in here. So pretend this is a drum kit stack. And I guess that's the benefit of having them on individual things, because you get the whole kit here, and it's the whole SoCal kit. Track kick. I don't believe that there is a way to do that. I'll look it up during the week, or see if you can Google. You know what? Let's Google it right now. What time does I think I've still got 15 minutes before the community pulse, so I'll see if we can go an extra few minutes here. Oh, hang on, Frank Terzo community pulse, because it's Moses J. Hawkins on the show today, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it kicks off in 8 minutes time. So yeah, if you want to go over, check out the community pulse. I'll give it a like and I'll give it a share over here in our chat. So if you're here live and you want to go and hear about what's happening in the community, in the world of online creations, then you can go and do that. You'll be sent over there as well straight after the show. Were you able to check out the following flex? No, I don't even remember what that was. Sorry. I thought we answered it, but I could be wrong. Yeah, flex pitch. No, it doesn't. You don't have full flex pitch in. That's what a lot of people are unhappy about with Logic Pro for iPad. You don't have the full flex pitch and flex time. It will follow the tempo, but I don't think you have the flex pitch. That's what people have been looking for, like you do in Logic Pro for Macintosh. What was I searching? Yeah. All right. It's Logic Pro iPad drum kit designer change individual kit piece. Let's see. Let's test the various things. For Logic Pro for iPad, here we go. For Logic Pro for iPad, customize drum kit designer by tapping specific kit piece snare within the plugin interface and then selecting a new sound from the library. You can swap, tone, adjust. Can you actually do that though in the iPad version? Because usually this video demonstrates how to, but that's Mac, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. So open drum kit designer, select the piece, change sound, open the library on the left. We'll try it. You know what? We'll give it a go. Yeah, that's the thing. You can. I thought it was a Logic Mac thing only. I thought the drum kit designer on iPad didn't allow it. As usual, the AI help is helpful if you don't care about accuracy. But I thought when we're in here, drum kit designer, make sure we're in the full kit and caboodle of the drum kit designer. So we'll come over, we'll make sure our library's open, not that one, that one. So we've got the SoCal kit there. If we press like the Roots kit, it changes the whole kit. We'll just undo that. Oops, it won't let us undo? No? All right, we just have to click SoCal kit. So it lets you do that. Yeah, oh, can you add a secondary ruler? Given the song in, I'm not sure about that either. Maybe that's a topic I need to do on a future video, everything. So if I'm just, no, because these are unselectable here in iPad. Like this is just a panel. Like there's no option here to change anything. What if let's just try one more thing. If we just drag, no, it won't let you drag onto, oh, will that just change it all to Roots? I don't think it did anything. I don't believe it's possible. Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to finish up there. Yeah, I don't know about the flex and follow thing. It's not the same. Go do some Googling because it's definitely not. Doesn't give you the full options. And yeah, I don't use a lot of flex pitch stuff anyway. So I don't know. Don't have all the answers. I have a lot of questions. And I'm sure you do too. That is going to do it for this one. Thanks again for being here, for being supporters of the channel, and for watching GarageBand Weekly. If you do have any other questions that I also can't answer, we'll look at them. I always try, but I don't always get the answer. But yeah, Logic Pro for Mac does definitely have. That's why people are like, it should just be called GarageBand Pro, because it doesn't have all the Logic Pro features that you get on Mac. So we'll see. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to check out all the links that are up there and down in the description. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on the replay, because I know many folks watch GarageBand Weekly on the replay, please let me know any questions or thoughts or comments that you have there. And until next time, folks, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and keep creating. Bye for now.